Hello, I'm John Melville from Vernier Software and Technology, and I'm going to show you how to get nice, clean EKG traces on your computer or LabQuest 2. What I need to tell you first, though, is there are things called electronic noise that may be in your classroom. Luckily, there's some really simple things you can do to minimize electronic noise. If you follow these key tricks, you should get very nice, clean EKG traces. The biggest problem in most cases can be noise from a power supply. So to get a nice clean EKG trace, what I would recommend is disconnecting power from your LabQuest or computer. The other thing that you need to do is make sure that you have a nice good contact of the electrode with your skin. If you can wait just a few minutes before you record an EKG, after you put these on, you'll get a much cleaner trace. Another thing that you should be aware of is that cell phones and other electronic devices also throw noise. So if your students or you have a cell phone in your pocket, you should remove that cell phone from your pocket and don't allow it near the EKG sensor. The key is to keep the EKG sensor as far away from anything that can produce, or what we call throw, electronic noise as possible. Now luckily, the body is a great electronic shield. So if you were to put this EKG sensor, the box, in your pocket, that's one way to reduce noise. The other way is just to have your students put this in their hand. And that's what I'm going to demonstrate to you. So I'm going to unwrap these wires, move this over a little bit. And I'm going to connect the EKG sensor to myself. These are the leads. Red goes left. Green goes right, and black is what we call the reference. And I like to put that on just a bony protuberance on my wrist here. Then I'm going to put this in my hand. And I am now shielding this little EKG sensor. All right, so I need to hit the collect button on the computer, but my hand is still acting as a shield. And I'm going to move away from the electronics so that there's going to be very little interference. I also need to stand very still so I don't also create noise in the electronic trace. So I'm going to step back, and then I'm going to hit the collect button, and I'm going to stand still while I do that. And there you go, we have 4 nice EKG traces. Now there's some other ways that we can clean this up. In Logger Pro, there actually is an experiment file that you can open up to record data, and we smooth the data to make it look even cleaner. And I can very simply show you how to do that. So if you go to File, Open, this will take you to the Experiments folder. And then if we go to Human Physiology with Vernier, there's an actual file called Analyzing Heart with EKG. And if you open this file, this will record an EKG, and it will do something that we call smoothing, which will also make the EKG trace look very clean and nice. So what I'm going to do again here, once again it'll record for 3 seconds. I'm going to pick up the EKG sensor, and I'm going to record an EKG so you can see the difference with this file. So I'm going to hold it up again, and I'm going to sit very still. Remember, you need to sit still, move it away from the electronics, and then just hit collect. And hopefully you can see that that's even a much nicer and cleaner EKG trace. So if you don't have a computer in your classroom, or you want to use our LabQuest as a standalone device, like this device here, our LabQuest 2, the most important thing to remember is to not have it connected to AC power. This goes for our LabQuest 2 and our LabQuest 1, the original LabQuest. You want to make sure it's not attached to AC power. And really, that isn't that big of a deal if you're recording an EKG, because you're only going to record it in most cases for 3 seconds. So it's really okay if the power is not connected for just a short time. So let me just show you how to do that on a LabQuest. I'm going to just disconnect the EKG sensor, and I'm going to plug it into the LabQuest. Once again, it's auto ID, so it's going to be recognized, and it's already set up to record for 3 seconds. And then I'm just going to repeat everything that I just did. I'm going to hold the EKG sensor in my hand. I'm going to sit still, and then I'm going to hit the collect button. And just remember that I also need to make sure that I don't have any electronic devices in my pocket. I want to make sure the EKG sensor is far away from a monitor or other electronic devices. So I'm going to move back a little bit, and then I'm just going to tap on the collect button right here on the LabQuest. And if you follow all these instructions, you should get a really nice EKG trace, just like I did right here. So for more information about EKG sensors or human physiology with vernier probes, just go to our website at www.vernier.com.